Okay, today what we're working on is the 1986 Chevrolet Corvette. What we're going to do is we're going to pull off this throttle body and then we're going to go ahead and reseal it after we clean it out. So the part I'm talking about is right here. This part right here says tune port injection right on it. This snorkel goes to it. There's a few other things that go to it that need to be removed. So we're going to get started on that right now. We're going to go ahead and pull it off the car, and then we'll go ahead and clean it out, tear it down, and make sure that all the parts and passages for the cooling system, for the coolant to flow through, are clear. So that's what we're doing right now. Be sure to disconnect the battery before you start this job. So we're going to go ahead and take off the mass airflow sensor now. That part is located right here. This is that mass airflow sensor. This is a snorkel we need to remove so we can get access to this throttle body. Give it a firm wiggle. Just lean that over here out of the way. Be gentle with that because that's new. And we'll go ahead and work in this area right here. We'll go ahead and take the linkage off first. There's a vacuum hose down here that goes from the EGR valve to the bottom of the throttle body, so we need to remove that. The easiest way to remove that is with a pair of needle nose pliers. We have a coolant hose going to it right here. Remove the connector that goes to the throttle positioning sensor. Whoops. Remove that vacuum hose, PCV valve. Remove the idle air control valves connector and remove this hose from the bottom of the throttle body. Do the same on the other side. Now remove the 10mm bolts that are holding the throttle body to the plenum. She's released. Okay, we got the parts clean now. This is the part that goes on the bottom of the throttle body. This right here is where the idle air control valve sits in. That's all clean in there. The ports that lead to it are all clean. The place where the gasket sets is all clean, and then inside there where the water flows, that's all clean. And what I used was a little wire brush on the end of a Dremel tool, and that seemed to take out most of the rust because there's a lot of rust built up in there. So this part's clean now. Don't really care what it looks like on this side because it's underneath and nobody sees it. And we got the throttle body itself clean now. This is the throttle body. Here's the flaps. This is the back side. Might not look as clean as you would want it to be, but it's as clean as I can get it for now. Be sure not to immerse the throttle positioning sensor in any kind of fluid, because that will mess it up and destroy it and make it work funky. And that's a pain in the butt to get in the correct position. And so just make sure you don't immerse that in any kind of fluid, but you can clean all around it. And here's the front of the throttle body. It's pretty clean now. We're going to go ahead and start putting it back together. And I'll go ahead and show you how to put all the gaskets and stuff back on it. Here's the port where the idle air control valve is, and then this is where the water flows. So we got that pretty clean. And now we're going to go ahead and put the gaskets back on it and put the rest of the components back together and then install it. Turned out okay. It's not brand new, but it should make it run a lot smoother on startup and idling, as well as performance. We're going to go ahead and install this now. I had to get 2 new screws from the hardware store because the ones broke when I was removing them because they were too frozen to the throttle body. So I had to get 2 new ones. This one and this one broke. Put them all down till they snug a little, and then go back and retorque them all. Do them one more time, final torque. One more time. That should do it. Looks good. This is the surface that you're checking to make sure it's flush and level. Looks real good. Okay, now we're going to put on the clean air cover. That's this gasket. Just bring them all till they snug up, and then go ahead and start tightening them. Do them again. One more time. One more time to check them all. Looks snug to me. Okay, now we have to clean the idle air control valve one more time. We did it earlier while we were rebuilding this car, but being as we clean this all up, we're going to do it one more time. It goes right here. That would be this part right here. Okay, remember where that goes? That goes right here. Throttle, this one's called the idle air control valve. Here's the gasket for that. Then get your huge wrench and tighten it down. We have two more gaskets in the kit. One gasket is for the throttle body to mount to the plenum, which is this one right here. It goes like so. And then this one right here, this looks like the EGR valve. We're not doing that job this time. So we're going to go ahead and mount this back up to the car now.